You're definitely going to want to rethink taking your lump sum as opposed to your annuity, especially right now. All right, so let me go back in time. We're going to go back in time. Back when I was a broker at Legg Mason, then became Smith Barney. I don't know what it is now. The Globalist Cabal planning firm. Come on. Back when I was there, I used to work. Hold on a second. All right, this guy. We're going to go back in time. Back in time. I used to work with a lot of folks who were retiring up at Merck, up in Elkton, Virginia, just right 33 East, heading towards 33 East. Anyway, and it always remember, it seemed like November would have to I'd say, what's your lump sum going to be? $600,000, but I'm not sure yet. I got to wait till the interest rates. And I always said, what? And then I figured out what it is that the interest rates that they get would determine what the lump sum was going to be relative to their pension. And I remember we'd be sitting there in August in the summertime, and we would not, Yanni, we would not know what their lump sum was going to be till like November when they got the interest rates numbers. And I tell you, man, we'd always be waiting. I would be waiting with bated breath because I remember it's like weird. If the interest rates went up, the lump sum would go down. And we're talking potentially significantly as well, which meant it'd be less likely to convince them to take their lump sum and not take the pension, and also to get less money in their lump sum. If interest rates went up, they get less money and thus less for me to manage. And as initially, I was like, what is going on here? And I'm going to share with you what happens here because it's pretty interesting. It's a great article we're going to refer to. But I mean, you sit there and say, please don't let the interest rates go up. Don't let the interest rates go up. Don't let the interest rates go up. And I had, because again, it'd be less money for me to manage if I even got it, because sometimes you'd be competing against a pension that was just, they couldn't turn it down. And anyway, so I'm sitting there thinking, oh man. And then some guys say, well, I think I'm waiting until next year to retire. Hopefully the lump sum is higher because the interest rates are going to go down. Yeah. Anyway, so let me read this article from Sarah O'Brien from CNBC. And I actually like Sarah's reporting. I'm sure she's a big lib and probably mandates the jabbas, but she writes some good financial stuff, so kudos to her. And she's not a spring chicken, not to say she's an old lady. I'm just saying she definitely didn't just fall off the turnip truck yesterday. So good stuff for old Sarah here. It's a pension quandary. Rising interest rates make it trickier to choose between a lump sum or an annuity. Yeah, 100%. So let's check it out. So I'm going to share with you right here. In contrast to the role that interest rates play in lump sum calculations, like we just talked about, we'll get a little bit more specific here in just a second. Pension annuities are not directly impacted by rate changes. Pension annuities payments are determined by a formula that's based on your age, the number of years of service, and your salary. All right. And so so remember, all pensions say we're going to pay you X amount of dollars a month for as long as you live, and we're going to reduce it if you have a survivor benefit, all that. We know that. It has nothing to do with interest rates, has nothing to do with investment returns, has to do with your age, your salary, and your number of years. I mean, the vast majority of them. All right. However, lump sum is completely different. Lump sums are, let me find it right quick, right here. All right, here. Let's see. While IRS updates interest rates monthly, many companies use 1 month's numbers, say August or November, to calculate the one-time payments for lump sum. In other words, a lump sum paid out this year and based on lower rates set in 2021 would be more than a 2023 payout because of higher rates this year. For example, if the interest rate is 4%, a pension benefit of $5,000 a month would give you $815,000 as a lump sum. But if interest rates go up to 6%, the one-time payout would be $688,000. Because remember, the benefit that you're getting, the $5,000 a month, is fixed. It matters not. It has nothing to do with interest rates, but we're discounting the present value of how much we have to generate. We have to put in there today to give you that $5,000 a month. So if interest rates are at 6%, that means we don't have to give you as much on the front end. We can invest $688,000 to generate that $5,000 a month. If interest rates are 4%, we'd have to put in $815,000 to generate that $5,000 a month. So just let me share with you again how this works. If we have $815,000 and we're getting a $60,000 a year pension, that's $5,000 a month. You take $60,000, oops, got to turn on first, divide by $813. Now that's 7.4. I mean, you don't turn that around, but this is just an illustration, though. So you get 60,000 a year, and you could have received an $815,000 lump sum. That's a 7.4% payout, which is you don't ever go away from that. But now, if the lump sum is only 688 because the interest rates went up to 6%, I could still get that 60,000 a year, but I'm only getting 688,000 for the lump sum. Now my payout rate is 8.7, significantly higher than what it was before, just because interest rates went up in this case from 4 to 6%. You'd be crazy to turn down that payout rate. Crazy. And so now what's happening is you're going to have a lot of financial advisors trying to hoping with bated breath that the interest rates don't go up on the month they show the interest rates, because that will be a significant decrease in their assets under management. And you're going to have a harder time to convince people not to take the pension anyway. Now what they'll do, what they'll do is they'll say, well, let me show you why the pension, you shouldn't take the pension. Pension annuities are subject to inflation risk. Because, let's see, to illustrate inflationary erosion, a 1% annual rate of inflation would reduce the value of a $25,000 yearly pension benefit to $20,488 after 20 years. Well, no one's only getting, well, I mean, who knows what we'll get, 1%. Whereas a 2% annual rate of inflation would translate into a $16,690 purchasing power. So basically what happens here is if you have a 1% inflation rate, your purchasing power will decline from $25,000 to $20,488 over 20 years. If you have a 2% inflation rate, your purchasing power would decline from $25,000 to $16,700 over 20 years. Now they're saying inflation is running at 8.6% year over year, the highest since 1981, and far higher than the target rate of 2%. And again, as I talk about in my soon-to-come book, the inflation myth in your retirement plan, your inflation is not 8.6. 8.6. I can guarantee it. I guarantee it. If you live in a home, it's not. If you're renting, maybe, but if you're living in your home, I guarantee it's not 8.6. So you got to factor that in. At the end of the day, 20 years, are you even going to be around? Maybe. Are you going to be older? 20 years older. Are you going to be doing the same things you're doing now at 62? No. You're just not going to spend as much. In that case, I would take the pension, even more so if the payout is lower, because of the payout ratio, the percentage of the payout relative to the percentage of the annuity, i.e. the $5,000 a month, relative to the payout, the one-time lump sum, is not even close to debatable. Anyway, so just be careful, man. Oh, I can get a higher rate of return. Can you? Can you? That's what they said in Japan. How'd that shake out? I love your thoughts. We'll see you.